Welcome to the Overexposed campaign resource videos. In this first video, we will explore our first pledge, prioritizing the rights and well-being of the children that share their stories with us. Visual storytelling is a vital part of our work and our sector. We collect photographs and stories of change as a record, as an accountability tool to donors, funders, and programs, as a tool for advocacy, and often as a truth. But whose truth really is this? Who and how do we decide on what stories we tell? What responsibilities do we have in the act of telling others' stories? And how do we remain accountable to those who feature in our storytelling? From starving to smiling, we have seen, at least in some places, a shift in the types of images the sector uses of children. But to what degree is this practice prioritizing the rights and well-being of those children we work with and for? And where does the persistent emotive use of children's faces fall into this? Is the approach you're using in the best interest of the child, or in the best interest of your communications plan? All children have the same rights as you and me, simply by the value of being human. All these rights are covered by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, also known as the UNDHR. The acknowledgement of children's additional rights and needs are addressed in the 1989 United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, also known as the UNCRC. The UNCRC endows children with 3 types of rights in addition to their rights as human beings, which can be categorized into the 3 P's of child rights: provision, protection, and participation. The UNCRC has 41 substantive articles, 35 of which protect, secure, and guarantee welfare and well-being rights for children. The 6 remaining articles specify some legal and political rights for children. You can read these articles and also access a version using child-friendly language in the resources. To provide further explanation of the rights outlined in the UNCRC, there are also general comments that can be applied to specific articles or specific issues. You can see a full list of the UNCRC general comments in the resources, which may help apply these rights concepts more specifically to your area of work. Participation is particularly important and poignant here. The UNCRC is the first declaration of children's rights which attempts to recognise children as both active participants in their communities and in realising their rights. The Convention offers a vision of the child as an individual and as a member of a family and community, with rights and responsibilities appropriate to their age and stage of development, sometimes known as evolving capacity. The UNCRC has also enshrined the adult responsibility to know what is good or bad for children in international law as part of the overarching general principle in Article 3 on the best interest of the child, which highlights our duty of care to a child when we are taking their image or story. This is relevant to Overexposed for 2 reasons. Firstly, the idea of children as inherently vulnerable and dependent has often been reflected in our fundraising and communications. Secondly, some NGOs may take a child rights-based approach to their work, but whose stories and images of children do not take into account their right to privacy, their right to dignity, and their right to participate in the creation of their own stories. Do the children you work with know their rights when it comes to their image and their stories that you use? Do you support them to not only know their rights, but to realise them too? Children and young people have proven beyond doubt that they have crucial perspectives, expertise, and the capacity to be powerful agents of change. And yet charities rarely use participatory storytelling or image use and go straight for a more extractive approach. So, how, as organisations, can we create safe spaces for those perspectives and voices to not only be heard, but be at the centre of our storytelling? In reviewing our own practice and launching the Overexposed campaign, Chance for Childhood believe we do have both a choice and a responsibility about the stories we tell, the images we choose to illustrate our work, and the accuracy of the context we decide to portray.